Hey physics. Okay, so we are going to learn how to build an atom today. So go ahead and click on this link here. And so here we have three buckets, one for protons, one for neutrons, and one for electrons. And what we can do is if we drag these protons in here, it tells us what atom it makes. So one proton all on its own is a hydrogen ion. So our big lesson for today is about ions. It's about, atoms that have a charge, whether it's positive or negative, and that happens because it has more or less electrons. So right now this is an ion because it's got one positive proton in it, but if I was to put an electron in there, it would become neutral because they're balancing each other out, right? One thing you're going to notice is that there are energy levels here. This is another new thing that we're learning today, is that electrons like to be in certain orbitals around the nucleus, and that means that it's kind of like parking spaces. Think of it like that. So when you go to the mall, there's like a few parking spaces up close, and then there's a few more behind that and a few more behind that, but you're always going to park in the closest one. At least electrons do. They like to park as close to the mall as they can get. So I could add another hydrogen atom here, and it becomes a negative ion. Some more things that you want to see here are that it tells you can kind of keep track of how many of each thing there are up here. So if I add a neutron to make deuterium, which is a hydrogen isotope, then it will look like this. I can click on net charge, and it shows me in another way like what my charge is. So right now it's -1 because I have one more electron than I do protons. Like so, these two balance each other out, and then this is the extra one. I can also see what the mass number is. So this has a mass number of 2 because it's got a proton and a neutron, which makes it have a mass of 2. And another thing I can do here is I can click on to show me what element it is. I think that's helpful just so you get those names in your head. You can have it show you if it's a neutral or an ion. I think that's helpful to see that too, so check that. And then another thing that's interesting is you can click on stable or unstable, because isotopes are going to be stable or unstable based on if they have a balanced amount of neutrons to protons. So like for instance, if I add another one, all of a sudden this is unstable. So that's going to be a radioactive isotope of that atom. I think that that's all you need to know about this. So there you go.